Hello and welcome to the Flying Eye Open 2024, here presented by theplayerstore.com. We're playing on the Crucible course in Athens, Georgia. This is an annual event that the Athens Disc Golf Club puts on, and we're super excited to be here and commentating on the feature card. My name is Bryson James, and to the right of me is Joseph Anderson. Joey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be commentating over this just amazing historic course. I mean, this place is very, it's just special. It's really special, only because it gets put together, once a year, if that. So yeah, super pumped.
Yeah, this course is absolutely insane. It's a temporary course, and we're all super excited to be out here. On the feature card today is myself, Bryson, and we'll see how I play out there. Mostly sidearms to me, but we'll see how others play.
Yeah, we got Davis York. He's kind of local. He's from Griffin, Georgia, but he did go to UGA, so he does have experience here in Athens. Yeah. And then here I am, 2024 Idlewild champion.
And you're local here too, is right?
Yes, very local. I'm only about 15 minutes from this property.
And last on the feature card, we have Cade. This is the first time playing with Cade, but super excited to see his game. I know he's an up-and-coming player and also going to UGA right now.
Yeah, I had never also played with Cade before this, so I was excited to play with him as well. Let's get into hole one. We got a 405-foot par 3. We got this one tree in the middle. This drone is going to be flying the right fairway. A lot of players I feel like we're choosing to opt for the left fairway because it's more open with the forehand. There is also hazard on the left that kind of wraps around, which really makes you commit, and that hazard wraps long as well, about 30 feet long, and the basket is just kind of perched on this hill right here, which makes the putting a little scary.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy opening hole, especially with that hazard. I believe there's also just a slight headwind, maybe a crosswind right to left. You can see some of the flags, but as you mentioned in the flyover, most people are going to go sidearm on this first hole. Yeah,
there's just a lot of space out there. You're going driver here, it looks like, keeping it nice and low.
Yep, very overstable destroyer, driver.
That's a great shot.
Second on the box, our 2023 Flying Eye Open champion, Davis.
Next up, we got Davis. It looks like he's also going driver.
Probably similar play, sidearm overstable.
Absolutely.
Just trying to get it over that hazard area and bring it back in late. A lot of hyzer on that release.
Yeah, that's a little bit on the safer side, just to not test the hazard.
Third on the card.
Should be a layup from there, I would assume, just because of how scary that
Joseph
green is.
Anderson.
Now, is this a driver you're throwing?
This is not. This is a Firebird, so this is a fairway driver.
Okay.
I found that you don't need to throw a very fast disc if you're kind of flying it or if you're keeping it flatter or lower, which I did for the most part.
Yeah,
but
nice. Oh, it turned over.
Yeah, I got some turnover on it. I feel like my release wasn't that off on it. I think that wind just kind of hammered it down once it got on that Anheuser.
Cade Costanzo.
Yeah, I will be finding that hazard early.
Yeah, it's unfortunate early mistake there. Now, Cade's actually going that backhand route.
Yeah, he is. And he's going to need that to fight through the tree,
all
which
the way
it does.
Through the tree. Where does this end up? No way. Absolutely parked.
Just parks it.
Hey,
that's incredible.
Unconventional route, but the closest out of the bunch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he missed his line, but the flight of the disc was perfect.
So again, this is hazard, so there's no OB, so you're playing it where it lies.
Playing it where it lies with a penalty, and I kind of actually had to get a little creative there. There was some trees in the way, and yeah, Davis just laying this up like I expected.
Yeah, since it's on that hillside, it's a tough to go even from that distance.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot on this course how the elevation really plays into the shots. That's a great putt to start off your round there. But the elevation out here is really crucial. You can't really see it much on camera, but it definitely defines kind of how the course plays.
Yeah, great putt there just to get the round started, probably from 25, 30 feet. It's always good to get that first one in.
Absolutely.
And then here comes Cade with this absolutely great drive through the trees and just tapping in his 10 to 15 footer here. Great way to start his round as well.
Yeah, that's sweet. Davis with the par. That's not really bad starting off with a par on this hole. It's a pretty challenging hole, especially for hole one. So.
Yeah, I think this hole really averaged maybe slightly under par. so it was not too bad to get a par.
Yep.
Hole 2 here is our first par 4 of the course. It's 585 feet. The first tee shot, as you see here, you really want it to land in this open area as it sets up your second shot. I think the second shot is actually the more tricky of this hole. So once you bend it around for your second shot, you actually see the basket is further on top of this ridge, but you'll see most players end up short and having to make a long putt for birdie. So we'll see how this card plays this hole.
Yeah, this hole is very challenging to even get in position to have an opportunity to go for that second shot up to the green. And like you're saying, yeah, just finding yourself with a long circle too big.
Yeah, looking at that shot, it's pretty good position. You're on that left side, so it opens up that gap for the second shot.
Absolutely.
Cade looking like throwing the same disc as hole 1, just a little low.
A little low, but honestly, that's almost better than going into the rough there, because then you're not even tempted to try to get aggressive and bring bogey into play. So we'll see what he has from there.
I kind of like Davis's play here. He throws a little bit slower speed just to get in position, but it looks like it got away on the skip there at the end.
Yeah, he's going to be a little bit pinched off there. He's probably going to have to play for par as well.
Joey looking like he's throwing a similar line as I did, just to get as far up as he can to that gap and just finish a little left to open up the second shot.
Yeah, so both of us there, those are both good drives. And even from there, though, it's still going to be pretty tricky to get in circle 1.
As we see Cade going for his second shot, he's going to try to get as far up as he can.
Yeah, that's fine. That should be an easy par. He's probably 200 feet looking right at the pin.
With the elevation here. It goes up maybe 10 or 15 feet up. So controlling your disc from that distance is pretty difficult.
Yep.
Davis couldn't get through the gap. Actually hit something and went backwards a little bit.
He still takes his medicine, though. I think that's a big part of this course is the rough is so bad. The fairways are really fair, but when you get in the rough, you just have to take your medicine.
Yeah, managing where your disc lands is crucial on this course. As I go for my second shot, and do get to that ledge, as we talked about, you're going to see a lot of players have their birdie looks.
Yeah, it's really hard to get out and over that ledge and into circle 1. So honestly, I mean, 30 feet for birdie, that's great.
I like the approach here that you're taking with the backhand, as I believe if you get the flex out, you're going to travel further up the hill. It looks like you just landed just short of that hill.
Yep. I'm fine with that, though, as long as it's, it's open, it's a long birdie putt.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
I think this one played one of the harder holes on the course.
Yeah.
As you see the rest of the card, getting it into the circle. Okay, leaking a little long. Should be okay.
Yeah, he's still inside circle 1 there.
So here's your birdie look, maybe 45?
Yeah, 45 or so. There's a little bit of wind out there.
Yeah, I see that flag.
Yeah.
But first putt of the day.
Ooh, just a little high there from you. I think that right to left wind might have got under your disc there.
Yeah, and I didn't want to go long on the putt either. I saw the rough on the end, so I kind of floated it up there longer than I should have.
Cade not able to connect for his par.
Yeah, trickling a little bit long. First kind of longer putt of the day. You can see some of the nerves kind of being there for him, but I'm sure he'll catch up on the next hole. Par's not bad here. Like we said, it's one of the harder holes on the course. You can see the birdie looks are longer putts.
Yeah, me and you both threw 2 solid shots, and we were both left still outside the circle for our birdies, which again is fine. But yeah, you just don't want to be taking the bogey here. So 2 pars, 2 bogeys.
See, that's pretty common for most. Be sure to check out theplayerstore.com.
It's your time to hit a fairway once, just one time. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Hole 3 at the Crucible. We got a par 5 here. The rough, again, is very bad. Not really a gap, but you just have to keep it straight, and then that'll set you up for this second gap, which is probably the most challenging shot on the hole. Definitely goes downhill a lot on that second shot, and landing anywhere here after 2 is great. And then you're gonna have to work around and underneath this tree with that branch to access this green. Super fun par 5. You don't have to throw really super fast. Yeah, so just stay in control and keep it in the fairway.
Yeah, like you mentioned, it's maybe 350, 375 to just get out to this open area to set up your second shot. I went driver just to get it out through the gap because I didn't really know the wind, but I think you're throwing a little bit slower.
Yeah, I'm throwing a fairway driver here just to keep it straight. And I know if I put that height that I just put behind it, that it will get out to where I need it to get. You faded a little bit left into the tall brush, which might be a little tricky, and I'm on the edge of it there, as you can see.
Yeah,
but
I like the slower play just to control the end of the flight more.
yeah.
So that was a good play by you.
Yeah, we're
And
both going to
Cade,
have a look.
I think he's thrown the same disc again and really got on top of that one. Wow.
That's a fantastic drive there. He's going to be looking straight at the gap. He's going to
Wow.
have nothing in his
That was
stance.
smash. That was a great shot.
Absolutely. Davis also going driver, it looks like, and this also looks great.
Yeah, that looks fantastic.
It's hard to go too long, I will say, on this hole. I haven't seen anyone pure it too far and go
Yeah, I
into the
think one of the
woods.
changes to the course from previous years is that they backed up the tee pad, so I would agree. It's difficult to go long, but I still like to play with a little bit slower speed disc.
Yeah. So I had to go standstill here and hit this gap, which I did well. My only goal was to hit the gap and give myself
Absolutely.
a shot down to that green.
Yeah, that was a great shot. Just get through that gap. I'm doing a little bit of audible here just because, like you said, I am in the rough, so I had a few things to deal with. So I went up in a little bit more stability to get a little bit more flex. But main goal is just to get through this gap, and I did so perfectly. Just barely clipping that left side, but really like the finish on this one.
Now, were you practicing going forehand through that gap?
No, not really. During practice, I ended up where Davis is now and throwing the mid down to the bottom of this hill. So that was kind of mid-game audible there with the caddy just to get a little bit more stable disc. But I kind of like where Davis landed too. It's a little left side, but he should be fine and have himself a birdie look.
Cade going a little bit higher through that gap.
Oh, wow,
Which,
he's down there though.
yeah, I think if you want to get aggressive and make that third shot easier, you can go higher through that gap and get farther down the fairway.
Just appreciate how well this card's playing this hole. This hole can bring really big numbers, and so far we're all in position for birdie here.
Yeah, I kind of pulled that one there, caught a little foliage, but I'm still going to be inside circle 2 for my birdie, which again is fine. Just giving yourself clean looks for birdie. That's all I really need.
Yeah, maybe 275 from the pin. You can see the low ceiling, so I'm going mid-range.
That looks fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Coming in a little hot though.
What a kick.
Nice tree. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. I was worried about going long here, but now I see it got the friendly result at the end. I like the play by Davis here. Great touch.
Yeah, he was just a little bit pinched off, but it wasn't quite enough to warrant a bad shot there. That's great there from
Wow,
Cade.
fantastic. Yeah.
I would say this is, again, like 45, 50 feet, very similar to the looks I've had so far this round. And I felt good with that bid. Hitting
Yeah,
high,
no
I feel like
kidding.
you put a good bid on it for sure.
Clean up my birdie and connect pretty well. Similar putt to hole 1, I think.
Yeah, that's a very solid putt. There's also less wind down
Yeah.
here near this green.
Yeah, we're in probably the lowest point of the course, at least on this side.
Yeah.
So you can see that flag's not blowing at all. So this is all pretty routine. But let's talk about the weather really quick. It was actually 85 and really pleasant out there for being late October here in Athens.
Yeah, no, the weather was great. I definitely prefer warmer, sunny weather, 80-degree plus. I know a lot of players like it if it's a little cooler, but I think this was the perfect day, honestly.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see some really good scores from that weather and having this card pick up, what is that, 4 for 4 birdies on that last hole? Absolutely insane. But let's talk about hole 4. Hole 4 is our second par 4, 614 feet. It's almost like a dogleg right, but it's kind of gradual. It's not absolutely direct. You'll see most folks do mid-range or putter off the tee just to get in position for that second shot. It's kind of a theme here at the Crucible. You really want to get in position to get your birdie. So I'm going mid slightly overstable, doing a little flex just to get into the landing zone to set up that second shot. And this is actually right in the middle, so no complaints there.
Yeah, that's a great shot. I actually kind of noticed that and didn't really learn from it well. I was throwing a more neutral disc, but I like the more overstable just to open up the fairway a little bit more.
Yeah, Cade, I think, went a similar route with just going a neutral disc. Looks like he caught that last piece on the left side to get in the landing zone.
Davis going more with like a hyzer flip almost. And
Yeah, that's his really understable buzz. He was throwing that a lot over the weekend, so I got very familiar with what that disc can do, and that's a great shot with it.
Yeah, that's, I mean, perfect landing zone for you and Davis there. I'm going with my Reco here, and this
Little
is kind of
overturned.
just drifted right a little bit on me, but it didn't look like it went too far into the rough. It was kind of just
Right on the
a
edge.
feet or two in.
Oh, it did kick in a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't really expect it to be this far in. I didn't really have much.
So you're going over. What
Yeah.
Was it? What were you? Were you trying to get to the fairway or going for the basket from here? What was the plan?
No, I was just trying to get to the fairway. I looked at like a pitch out option, and it was just as hard as pitching out how I just did with the thumber there. So I just went with the thumber.
Wow. Well, I think you ended up in a good result and got into the fairway. Cade going for it. He's a little further back than where you want, so I think he was just being challenged by the high or the low ceiling here and caught some of the upper foliage. I'm going sidearm just to keep it under all the foliage up top and putting it really close. That's a really great shot.
Yeah, I like the low play because you can also just kind of just ram it into the hillside.
Yeah.
Takes all the speed off instead of going high, which Davis is going a little bit higher here. Challenging the branches a little bit more. That's leaking a little long and left. It's going to be tough over there.
Yeah, again, elevation becoming a challenge on this course. Is that the same disc that you threw off the tee?
Honestly, don't remember. But it definitely could have been. It was one of my putters.
Yeah.
More neutral disc there. And
But you're inside the circle. I think you can clean that up for par. Cade weighing up. Inside circle. Now Davis is in a interesting spot. He did trickle all the way over here, and he's looking like he may have a look.
oh, wow.
Off the bend from there?
Yeah, that's a
Insane.
great bid.
No kidding.
From the approach, it looked like he had maybe like a straddle out or
Right,
something,
yeah.
but he was really in there.
What a bid from,
yeah.
from Davis. And you cleaning up your par. Cade also for par. Still not bad on this hole. I think this is actually one of the easier holes, the way it's scored for the day. As I'm putting for birdie here.
Stress-free birdie. Just
Yeah,
keeping it in the
always like
fairway.
those.
Yeah.
But 3 pars, 1 birdie. It's not too bad on this hole. Hole 4 here.
Hole 5, we got another par 4, 506 feet, although it probably plays a little bit more than that. We got this left to right hill, so you want to have some amount of turn just to get to the landing zone, but you don't want to overturn it into the right side rough. And then you have this shot up to this green that's just unlike any green I've really seen. It's surrounded by these fence posts that they've kind of cleaned up a little bit. In the past 2 years, they've had the pin not inside of the fence, which
Carousel.
yeah,
Carousel.
yeah,
But off the tee, like you said, it's playing a little bit further, so I'm going driver once again. A little understable just because of the hillside. You're going uphill, and you want to get as far as you can, but also you don't want to dig into the hill for a potential rollaway. So I'm going a little bit understable off my drive. And I think Cade, again, is relying on that driver he's been throwing the past, I think, 4 out of the 5 holes.
yeah. You know you're dialed in, you're feeling right if you're just throwing the same,
Yeah,
2 or
it's a
3
good feeling.
discs.
Oh, Davis.
Yeah, Davis pulls that right, but he gets a nice kick out into the fairway, which is nice.
Very fortunate. Should still be able to get par from there.
Yeah, I'm also leaning on a more understable or neutral disc here, just because in order to get the distance, you need that drift over to the right, I think, on this hill.
Yeah,
So-
that's still a great shot.
Yeah, it's a little bit short, but I think I'm still going to have a shot up to that green. Davis just laying up to the landing zone, but looks to go a little bit
A
long.
little bit long, yeah.
So this is what happens when you come up a little bit short off the drive. You kind of have this forehand anhyzer up
That's
the
a great
hill.
result, though.
Yeah, that's
Small window.
That's a great result. Yep. It's probably about 30, 35, 40 feet.
Like you may have a similar shot since your drive didn't go as far as you would have liked. But a great flex forehand. Wow. Bullseye?
Bullseye. I'm
Wow.
happy with that shot.
Absolutely. I would be too. So I'm going mid-range. It's still fairly uphill. It's a little low. Hoping to get the skip. No skip.
I don't know what that caught. Maybe like a root or something, or maybe it's just the way the hillside is there.
Yeah, and I don't know if we see the out of bounds on the right side leading up to the green, but I know it was in my mind on my upshot.
Yeah, it definitely can come into play if you get a little bit errant on your upshot there. It's about 40 feet, and you just jam that. You've had 4 solid putts now to start out your round.
Odd footing. Feeling pretty good from the last couple of holes. So just threw it up there, and it connected.
Davis going with the forehand putt. He had nothing from in there, really.
It's tricky in there. That's 2 tricky putts in a row for him. And Cade, nice connect there. Great putt.
So an unfortunate bogey here from Davis. Not going OB, just finding the rough, finding some tricky spots.
And here you are going over to tap in your great birdie.
Yeah, getting on the board.
That's the way you want to play the hole right there.
Yeah.
All right, hole 6, personally my favorite hole on the course. I think it's the most iconic. Par 5, 931 feet. You can see off the tee, you want to make this gap, and you want to land on the right side. That's really the position for the next few shots. As you get into the woods, it gets a little bit more tight, and you go up the hill to get to the basket. Par 5, but you can see some eagle looks if you get off the tee really well. So I know I'm going sidearm off the tee because I want to finish right, but as you can see, if you don't get the distance from the tee, it can be tricky because there's a lot of rough on here as well. But that's and skip.
You kind of just made that look easy, honestly. That gap it's there, and they actually added some OB from the last previous years, so there is an option to lay up with a putter short of that gap and then throw through it.
I don't see that. I don't see the many pros doing that approach, but it is there. Especially, it's an option for if it's really windy. I think there's a slight headwind today.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that
I think
headwind.
it got you there.
Yeah, I turned it over, but I did cross and bounds up there. So that OB kind of wraps around the left side through that gap. So I'm going to be OB there. Davis, this is
like
just
you
a little
said,
high.
If you don't have the distance, you find that rough on that right side.
Yep. Yeah, you got to keep it low enough and straight enough to get down there. And he just a little bit high there from Davis.
So since you went OB, you're taking your lie a little further back just to open up the next shot. And this is great. This is absolutely smashed just to get to the opening. Oh, turning around the cameraman. Wow.
Yeah, I almost got Conrad with that one. That's a great recovery shot there. So I should be able to get up and down for a pretty simple par. Once you get kind of past the ravine, the woods aren't that rough compared to out here in the open, and it's just kind of scattered trees. So once you get past there, you should be able to get up and down from anywhere. And Davis just pitching out.
Yep. I mean, that's all you can do from in there. It's we may see it further on the coverage. If you get off the fairway, it's tough. That's basically your best bet, just to pitch out. But Davis is going for that gap. We'll see if he can punch through. And no, he's hitting the main guardian tree, really the tree that shapes that second shot for most folks. And it looks like he's clipped it just a little bit. Let's see if Cade can get in there.
pulls it a little bit low and right, but
Punches through.
yeah, it looks like it's going to be
You might have a
fairly simple. Fairly
Might be
simple.
able to get up and down for his birdie.
So you're just in the perfect spot here. You're going to go forehand, kind of flexing it.
I like the sidearm. Oh, I slipped. Right.
That's that guardian tree. That's the one you were talking about. If you don't get past that one, it does get a little bit tricky.
Yeah, I was actually trying to get up as far as I can. I was in great position off the tee. I found something on the ground that tripped me up, but I should be okay. Davis is going over the ravine. Great shot by Davis.
That's a great shot. I mean, if you can get a putt from short of the ravine, you're doing work.
So I'm in the ravine that we keep talking about, and there's absolutely nothing. This ravine's maybe 15, 20 feet deep, and so I'm trying for a forehand roller to get as far as I can, but find some early trees, as there's not much there.
Yeah. So here you can see I'm not even technically on the fairway, but I just have a really simple upshot there.
That was a great shot. Get up and down for your par. Cade has something. See how close he can get. A little right, but it has a birdie look, actually. Wow.
Yeah. Another pretty simple up and down here from you.
Mm-hmm.
Well executed.
Little patent pending with a putter. Not too bad.
You're having a good time out there, it looks like.
I love this course. I love just the local folks that came out to watch, and even the film crew here. Even the cart. Everybody was great. But that putt, I know Cade really wanted. Just a little right side. Good connect there. Good par. Really great save.
Yeah, after going OB early, then getting all the way into the woods kind of made it a little bit easier. But yeah, I'm happy with that par. And Cade connects on his comebacker there.
That's a good putt. Off the cage, but hey, it's in there.
It's hard to keep track of all the throws. I'm like, is this for par? Not sure.
Yep. I think, Davis with a bogey. Oh, because he pitched out. That's
Yep.
what it was. Yep.
Yeah, so Davis taking the only bogey, and he didn't even go OB.
All right. Hole 7, par 3, 212 feet. I think it plays a little longer. That's just me. I think they pushed back the tee pad, perhaps. But you can see the ravine right before the baskets. That's really what you want to try to overcome and get over onto this green. Going long is great. That's what many players try to do. And many players also throw putter off the tee because of the downhill. So getting across the ravine is the goal for this one. So I still got the box with the par on the last hole. A little overturned. Hoping to hit something. I think I'm in the ravine. And OB, yes, there is water that is in that ravine, and I found it.
Yeah, so we're playing just straight up by PDGA rules here on this hole, or on a lot of these holes out here with the ravine. And the water's kind of a bit iffy. It's kind of a little bit finicky with that rule, just because the creek isn't really a
not
clear.
flowing.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's
a
not
flowing
flowing.
creek. It's just kind of puddles here and there with some rocks. So pretty unfortunate there, but you did get pretty far down as well. I pulled this one right, but I sneaked through.
Keep
Wow.
going. Wow, that's across the ravine as well. Okay, you might have a look.
Very fortunate.
Davis also with a putter.
This
I
looks
like
a little
this.
bit more
Get a
like the
little up,
line. Yeah.
Further up. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Perfect.
I feel like it's kind of rare to be parked on this hole.
Yeah, I would agree. Like I mentioned, you want to go past the basket just to clear the ravine, and he did it perfect. So what we're doing here is discussing my out of bounds and where I went out. Group consensus is that I hit the further side, closer to the basket side, and I'm taking my relief. And a meter away from the creek, as you can see, it's at my shoulders of how deep this is. So I'm gonna say I'm taking my meter on top of where the bridge is.
Yeah, kind of a weird situation there with
But
that.
I gotta
with the
look
ravine.
for par. I mean, I'm gonna go for this if I have a chance for par.
Yeah.
Maybe 40 foot. Just off the cage.
Oh no.
Oh, that needs to sit down. That's coming right back at you.
And it needs to stop. Back in the ravine,
Is that one
but this time not out of bounds.
Yeah, not
Like you
surrounded
mentioned-
by water.
Yeah, like you said, it's a little finicky. But you can see the water's on that left side, and thankful. Oh, I'm going turbo for this next one. I really am having a good time, I think, or a bad time,
Yeah.
depending on who you are. Don't always want to throw a turbo in a tournament here. So I'm tapping in for my double. Pretty unfortunate from the start that I had.
Davis just going to tap
Just
in that
walk
birdie.
on by with your birdie.
Yep.
So this is your birdie look.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't really have much of a line to swing a normal putt in.
Off the cage with a sidearm putt.
Yeah, I was actually surprised of how good of a bid I gave that, honestly.
And Cade with a birdie. Yeah, that's where you want to see most players going a little long, having yourself a 20-footer back towards the basket. That's a great birdie and good pickup by him.
A lot of the shots will also collect in that mini ravine right there, kind of where Cade was, which again is only 15, 20 feet from the basket.
Yeah.
On to hole 8. We got another par 3 here, 350 feet. We're starting out in the open, and then it goes into the woods, kind of like a tunnel shot, but the gap kind of starts halfway through the shot. We also have that same ravine kind of crossing over the fairway to the left, and it kind of just stays there on the left, so you don't really want to test that left side once you get down to the green. Challenging hole. A lot of players are going to be playing the forehand just because of the hillside. Kind of fades into that right side hillside and doesn't travel far right. As you can see, Cade kind of overturning it though.
Yeah, a little bit, but he's getting down there, which is also what you want. If you're early, you're in a lot of trouble on this hole.
It's definitely crucial to get into the woods. This is a little bit early, but it's fighting
But
through.
it's all the way through. And the roll. Okay, that's inside circle.
Yeah. And you can see that log there. That's probably about 40 feet away from the pin,
Yeah.
so you really want to get kind of over that if you want to get a birdie.
Oh, I like this shot a lot. That's great. Fantastic. What was that?
That was a Firebird. That was one of my more neutral ones, so not like super flippy.
Fantastic shot.
Yeah, I was happy with that shot. This is one of the more challenging par 3s on the course, I would say. Definitely more challenging than the last hole we just played.
But our card's eating this up.
Yeah,
and
making it look easy. Yeah.
And I'm actually going long on this hole. Cade having a look. A little jump putt. Putting it close.
How far would you say this is?
I'd say 40. I know I'll circle 2. Off the top again.
Good sit, though. That definitely could have.
Yeah, no kidding. That could have rolled.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Davis just not connecting on the putts.
Yeah, you would want to see that one, especially after the fortunate throw off the tee. We're just tapping in our pars and haven't even got to your disc yet.
Yeah, I was absolutely parked. I don't remember if this was a CTP hole for the MPO division or not, but I don't think I was in the CTP.
Well, if you were, your name would have stuck. That's one of the closest drive I've ever seen on this hole for all the times that we played on this creek course. All right, hole 9, par 4, 732 feet. As you can see, really tight off the tee, but you really want to get to this open area. Similar to hole 4, but much longer. Dogleg right, and the farther you get off the tee, the easier this second shot's going to be. What a beautiful green. I think this is my favorite green on the course, just because of this large tree, the flat area. It really just signifies the circle, but you also have the lake on that right side. One of my favorite holes. I know I've said that a few times already, but I would still say it again. This is one of my favorite holes.
Yeah, there's a lot of really defining holes on this amazing course.
That's a great shot. That's really all you want. And great little finish there to the left just to open up the second shot. That's really great.
Yeah, I should be able to see the green from there. Cade testing the right side.
Oh,
wow.
a little right, but gets the great kick. Right on the edge of that rough.
Yeah, that
Wow.
rough isn't too bad until you get at a certain distance. So if you throw it too far and a little bit too left, there's kind of like these firm, like harder trunk
I think
trees
Davis
growing.
may find some of those.
Yeah, they're
No,
right
just in
there.
front of Cade, yeah.
Wow. So he's going to be on the edge. They're still going to have shots. This isn't, again, 730 feet, slightly downhill. It's not the farthest par 4 ever. So you
But
don't
just getting
need...
through this gap is really the main goal.
Yep.
And whatever else happens, you'll just take. Oh, I'm going off of Davis's disc there.
Yeah,
So-
if you guys are both, 2 or 3 feet more in there, it's going to be a lot more challenging.
Yeah, I think we're all slightly on the edge, and Cade's going for it, maybe a little short.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was trying to get all the way to the green there. Maybe he was just kind of laying up a little bit.
Davis got pretty close. That's maybe a 60-footer, maybe 70.
Yeah, it was just a little low. If he had a bit more height, I think that would
I
have...
watched these two guys throw, and we're all pretty similar. So I actually dissed up here. I'm actually throwing a destroyer
Okay.
because I saw they're ending up a little short.
This looks pretty good. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, from a standstill, disking up, I think I made the right choice there.
Yeah. I'm in a great spot here. Have a nice run up and
Primo.
just kind of yanked over on it a little
Overturned
bit.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of been my mistake with the sidearm so far.
I wouldn't have thought since hole 8. I thought you got it dialed in.
Yeah, I think that was a similar shot with that flatter drifting release
Sure.
as compared to like a stock hyzer. Maybe I'm just in my own head.
But you had a great third shot there for a layup for your par.
Ooh.
Davis gave a good bid for his
Yep.
birdie. And I think I tapped in for my birdie and the rest
Yeah.
of the pars.
Yeah, I think we all just tapped in there. There's our leaderboard after the front 9.
Yeah,
Not
Cade-
super hot.
Yeah, no, just 3 down on the front 9. Like we said, it's tough if you get it in the rough. And Cade and I at the top there with 3 under. So we'll see what the back 9 has for us, and hopefully we get a few more birdies.
Absolutely. If you're not following Ace Run Pro, be sure to follow Ace Run Pro both on Twitter and Instagram. See you guys on the back 9.